Live from Wisconsin, it's Play That Rock and
Roll. Let's start with Record Store Day. Record Store Day was this past weekend. I interviewed two artists on the channel about their releases for Record Store Day. I talked to Michael Debar about the massive Power Station 3-disc live vinyl release that is a long overdue live album for that band. And I also talked to Deborah Ayel of Romeo Void about a double live album from Romeo Void's touring days. Both were projects I was very excited about and was hoping to get on Record Store Day. Unfortunately, I was not able to come home with vinyl versions of either one. I went to Volta Records in Milwaukee, and unfortunately, they did not have any copies of the Power Station live album. And they did have copies of the Romeo Void live album, but I passed on buying that because the label that put out the vinyl and also got me in touch with Deborah, Liberation Hall, which is a great label. They were kind enough to send me an advance copy of the CD, so I've been listening to that CD. I will show you the CD that Liberation Hall sent me before my conversation with Deborah. I said in that interview, in that episode, that the CD version of this is great. I've been listening to it in my car for weeks. The sound quality is really good. It feels like you're at a Romeo Void concert back in the early 80s. It's a very cool vibe. And the booklet that comes with the CD includes all of their lyrics for the songs included here and some great photos from the band's personal archives. So, yeah, it's a great collection. You would get all this if you got the vinyl edition as well. Volta Records, where I went, had the vinyl edition of Romeo Void Live 81 to 85. That was priced at about $50. I believe there are vinyl copies of that still available online, actually, because I saw Deborah posted a link where you could get a hold of leftover stock or whatever it is. So if you missed out and you want a copy of Romeo Void Live 81 to 85, check out Deborah Ayel on Instagram or the Liberation Hall website, and there should be a link to getting the vinyl edition of this or the CD in the case that you missed Record Store Day. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to get the Power Station live album on vinyl, but I have to say, I think I probably wouldn't have bought it even if I had the opportunity, because unfortunately, prices on Record Store Day are rough. And given that that was a 3-disc set, I expect that would have been much more than I would have been comfortable paying. So I think there might be another way for me to get a copy of that as part of a box set. So I'm going to look into that. But unfortunately, no Power Station live album to show off today. The one Record Store Day exclusive release that I did get, Van Halen, live in New Haven, 1986. This is the vinyl version of their Live Without a Net VHS concert, which I also have and love. I absolutely love that concert film. It's one of my favorites. So they put that out on a vinyl for Record Store Day, and I definitely wanted to get a copy. And it was priced reasonably. It was $35, which is pretty much the ceiling of what I'm comfortable spending for new vinyl. $35 to $40. That's about my cap of what I'll pay for something where it's just an album. You know, box sets, signed items, I might pay a little bit more, but for things that are just a vinyl, $35, $40 is my cap. So I was happy to get this. Now, my understanding is that this is also readily available now. So if you missed Record Store Day, there are ways online for you to get a copy of this. And also, there's, I think, a new Van Halen box set that's coming out that includes a Blu-ray of this concert film, which I might get that for the Blu-ray alone because again, I love that. I love that concert film. So that was cool. The next thing I got was not a new vinyl. It was a used because Record Store Day for me is not just about the exclusive releases. It's really the only day of the year that I will actually go out record hunting because my record shelves are pretty much full, and the hunt isn't as fun as it used to be. Everybody knows what they have now, so it's hard to find good deals. So I don't go out all that often, and or at least I limit it to Record Store Day because that's just a great excuse to get out there and celebrate music and be out and about with other music fans. And one item I found that I was absolutely not expecting to stumble across, and I didn't really even buy for the music, the soundtrack to the Clint Eastwood movie The Gauntlet. How cool is that? I got it mostly for this cover artwork here. Love that. And I think this is a Frank Frazetta poster. I know the movie poster is, so I assume this is as well. And I love the movie. I couldn't tell you if the music's any good. In fact, I think it's probably just mediocre because I don't really remember what it is. But that's a fun piece to have in the collection. I'll give it a listen, and hey, maybe I'm forgetting something. Maybe there's actually a really nice piece of music on this. The composer here is Jerry Fielding, who I am not familiar with. Next thing that I also got at Volta Records was a Record Store Day release from a previous year. From Record Store Day 2021, Bob Dylan, Joker Man with I. This is an EP, not a full album. I happen to like this era of Bob, and the reason I bought it is because there was a price drop on it. Okay, because this copy sat at Volta Records for a couple of years and they marked it down. The original price you can see here is $15.99, $16. And these three dots were various years marked down. One year they took half off or a quarter off, another year they took half off, and this year they took 75% off. So this original $16 piece I got for $4. That's why I got it, because it was a good deal. This is a good example of why it's worth going out to Record Store Day. If you go to a bigger place, they might have leftover stock from previous years, and it will probably be discounted if that's the case. So, maybe you missed this in 2021 and, caught up with it years later. I wasn't hunting for this in 2021, I can tell you that, but I am happy to get it at a good price. Okay. Now, the other thing I got at Volta Records is not a vinyl. It is Pink Floyd, The Delicate Sound of Thunder DVD set. This was priced cheaper than everything I saw for it on eBay, so right away that's a win. I have this live album, and I really enjoy it, so having the video version is excellent. I'll be able to, watch that on my TV down here in my basement bar. But I bring it up because when I grabbed it off the shelf, I was waiting in line to check out. And the checkout line was insane. It was like an hour long to check out. And the guy behind me in line grabbed a Pink Floyd Record Store Day exclusive release. It was a 4-disc set. So he saw me grab this DVD and he said to me, "Hey, did you see the Pink Floyd set?" And I told him I hadn't. And he showed me. And it's from their early days. I think, was it Live 75, something like that? Looked pretty cool. And I thought, for a second, like, oh, wow, maybe I could, run over to the shelf and grab one. And then I looked at the price tag, and it was $83. $83 for new vinyl. And it's just like, no, that's That's not why I go out to the stores on Record Store Day. I go out to the stores on Record Store Day to support my local record store and to find maybe some good deals on used vinyl, or perhaps a reasonably priced exclusive Record Store Day release. And the guy that I was talking to, I mean, he had a armful of records, so that dude was dropping a lot of money that day. Uh, Unfortunately, I had a tighter budget. And then the last thing I got was not at Volta Records. It was at a different record store close to me called Acme Records. And I found the soundtrack for one of my favorite movies of all time, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And I thought, wow, now that is something that should have a Record Store Day re-release. But I don't need that because I found this. And this was $20, which is a little pricey for used vinyl, but this is a special soundtrack. There's some great music on here. It's not just the pop songs they got. There's some special original music that's here, particularly the original composition, I Can Take Anything, love theme from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's a funny track that uses some dialogue clips from the movie. I posted that on my TikTok and Instagram page. It's just a fun piece of music, so I was really happy to come across this just out in the wild. And that capped off what was, to me, a very successful record store day. I'm really happy with my haul.